In February of 1968, the Beatles left England to go live on an ashram in Rishikesh, India, to study meditation under their newfound spiritual leader, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. Along with them came John, Ringo, and George's wives, Cynthia, Maureen, and Patty, and Paul's girlfriend, Jane Asher, plus their assistants, such as Mal Evans, and a slew of reporters. But that wasn't all. A star-studded cast attached themselves to the Beatles in search of the same spiritual enlightenment they'd been promoting at the time, and followed them down to the ashram as well. People such as Mike Love of the Beach Boys, Donovan, Mia Farrow, and Paul Horn. In all, there was a class of 60 students sharing the grounds of the ashram while the Beatles were down there. One such person was a latecomer, about 20 years the senior of the Beatles in their entourage, named Nancy Cooke de Herrera. Nancy was an American socialite who was once considered the United States ambassadress of fashion, living an extremely lavish lifestyle while rubbing shoulders with kings, queens, and sultans the world round on a regular basis. For a time during the 1960s, she worked closely with the Maharishi as a publicist of sorts. Various histories paint the picture that she wasn't much liked by the younger celebrities on the ashram, with Mia Farrow, for example, recalling her entrance to the school in her own autobiography in the following way. Then, a self-important, middle-aged American woman arrived, moving a mountain of luggage into the brand-new private bungalow next to Maharishi's along with her son, a bland young man named Bill. People fled this newcomer, and no one was sorry when she left the ashram after a short time to go tiger hunting. And in that quote, a few important aspects jump out in relation to our own investigation. Nancy had a son named Bill who stayed with her in her bungalow, making him Bungalow Bill, and together they went tiger hunting. The ashram, of course, was supposed to be a spiritual haven where all life is considered sacred, even going so far as to enforce a diet of strict vegetarianism. So it isn't hard to imagine the puzzlement and resentment from the other students on the compound to find out that the Maharishi's close friend and business associate, who was granted the opulent living quarters of the bungalow next to his own, was taking her son on a killing spree. Bungalow Bill was written about a guy in Maharishi's meditation camp who took a short break to go shoot a few poor tigers, John told an interviewer in 1980, and then came back to commune with God. John, with his legendary razor-sharp sarcasm, coined the name Bungalow Bill within his group, playing on the names of Buffalo Bill and Jungle Jim, though the young man's name was actually Richard A. Cooke III, but everyone knew him as Rick. Regardless, he is forever immortalized as Bungalow Bill from the chorus of the song John wrote about him, which bears the same name, the continuing story of Bungalow Bill, in which John, Ringo, Yoko, and a host of others repeat in unison, "Hey Bungalow Bill, what did you kill, Bungalow Bill?" The first verse then sets up the story in a taunting fashion, with John singing the words, "He went out tiger hunting with his elephant and gun. In case of accidents, he always took his mum. He's the all-American bullet-headed Saxon mother's son." John then shouts, "All the children sing," before another round of the chorus begins, referring to himself and the Beatles' entourage at the ashram as children, no doubt a dig at the difference in age between them and the middle-aged Nancy and their wise teacher, the Maharishi. As it happened, Rick, or Bungalow Bill, really had shot and killed a tiger while out in the jungle that day, afterwards posing proudly for a photograph beside his catch. Upon hearing this, John sarcastically barbed the supposed spiritual adherent with the question, "But isn't that slightly life-destructive?" Clearly sickened by the pointless killing. And in return, Nancy defended her son by saying that he had only shot the tiger in order to protect the rest of his party, after the angry jungle cat came out of nowhere and attacked the elephants they were riding. In other words, she painted her son, who apparently she wouldn't dare let speak for himself, as a hero who did what he had to do, despite the fact that everyone was well aware they'd gone to hunt tigers that day before they even left the ashram, making it more of a case of him doing exactly what he set out to do. John's acidic sarcasm continues in the second verse as he documents that part of the tale, now berating Rick by mockingly referring to him by the name of a superhero, as he sings, Deep in the jungle where the mighty tiger lies, Bill and his elephants were taken by surprise, so Captain Marvel zapped him right between the eyes. More acerbic ridicule follows in the third and final verse, when John portrays his fellow pupils as the children once again, as they question Bungalow Bill if what he did was ungodly. But before he can answer, his mother comes to his rescue and speaks for him, painting the picture of the tiger being a monster with the look of murderous rage in his eyes. The children asked him if to kill was not a sin. Not when he looks so fierce, his mummy butted in. If looks could kill, it would have been us instead of him. Interestingly, John likely got the inspiration for this last verse in part when he and George overheard Rick asking the Maharishi if killing a lion was a sin, according to an interview Rick's wife gave in 2008, to which the Maharishi apparently replied with the cryptic statement of, "Life destruction is life destruction." All in all, the song is quite mocking of Nancy Cooke de Herrera's son, and rightfully so, considering his actions that day. But in his defense, it is said he felt guilty of his actions and reportedly never hunted anything again for his entire life. So, maybe there is something to be said about the no-holds-barred deriding he received from John in the continuing story of Bungalow Bill, if it steered him away from ever behaving in such a savage manner ever again. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and as a bonus, here are 5 additional facts about the continuing story of Bungalow Bill. 1. The opening guitar riff to the track, which sounds like a Beatle playing a serious flamenco riff, was actually a pre-programmed sample on a Mellotron synthesizer. 2. Everyone in the studio the night the song was recorded was asked to sing the chorus, including Yoko and Ringo's wife Maureen, making it the first Beatles song to feature female voices. 3. Bungalow Bill was recorded, overdubbed, and completed in one day. 4. The same day the song was recorded, the Beatles also recorded and finished another track for the White Album, I'm So Tired, which makes sense considering that the song contains the same melodic structure in the line, I wonder should I get up and fix myself a drink, to Bungalow Bill's, if looks could kill, it would have been us instead of him. 5. Rick, or Bungalow Bill, later worked a career as a photographer for National Geographic, shooting animals with a camera rather than a gun. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to give this video a like to help us out, and if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button so you're aware of all our future content when it's released.